Hi, my people, and welcome to the Talking Point Show for Elevated TV and Radio. My name is Idafe Matthew Esiogene, and I like to call me the Elevated One of Sports. We still did this self-isolation season. It be like say me, I don't isolate myself before the start time, so let's just keep on like that until we clear ball. Hope day Nasha, before now, I fear, say the word they won't end. But say from the beginning, I keep saying one word: humanity will always prevail, because example abound everywhere to show that humanity always win against adversary. No matter the adversity we will face, humanity always wins. So I think say humanity will also prevail. Now, doctors in India, doctors in Cuba, doctors in China, in South Korea, in Japan, different places don't they develop the serum to counter the coronavirus. That is one. Also, they discover say people will survive. Now that one I surprise me, like Ateta now I don't cure. So I always ask say, what you do it make can cure? Because if there is something you do it just stay free from them after 14 days isolation and declaring that you have it, then everybody should start thinking of doing that in them. Some people say put lime for hot water, which would already take since forever. Some people say apple cider vinegar, put a few drops inside warm water. I'm not the doctor, so I'm not fit prescribe anything. But one of the things I go tell you now straight up is say all this rush to buy chloroquine. See, the thing about every medicine, including vitamin C, every medicine, they cure problem, but not still poison. Every medicine are poison. So if you go take medicine without doctor's prescription, you go also cause more problem to yourself, like damage your kidney, damage your liver. You not get corona, they're expensive rich. Corona, you're not going to need to spend up to 2 million to fix corona. But you see, if you damage your kidney or you damage your liver, especially if you do for places like Nigeria or Africa, the cost of even flying, you go places like India, Dubai, London, Germany, US, or Malaysia to go treat you, they between 6 to 12 million naira. And say the economy hard right now, they're not going to. So nobody force yourself to drink the things where you're not supposed to drink. And in this period, where we say with yourself isolate, so wanna cut down on the smoking and the alcohol. I'm not saying a habit and they're hard to break, but wanna cut them down, because right now, the way the whole country be, so any rise of temperature, they'll say you get corona. Any malaria, they'll say you get corona. Any typhoid now, they'll say you get corona. So we can arrange ourselves in such a way we say all of these normal regulatory supposed to treat before no go become the reason why they will just hold us and go tire us a place. And the way they do, the figure you go for where mad people they say na corona they treat for. When you come back from the corona, you carry madness for the body. And I just advise when they say I get to give make I go straight to the talking point with the ground. Football, before we even get into the voices of the people, football and other sports really, it can't be like say corona come to attack sports apart from the normal attack on humanity. It can't be like say come to attack sports. Countries like Italy, now them even can get the highest hit because as it is so, and the reason they say because Italy now get the highest amount of older people for Europe. That's why it be like that. And this corona, they attack old people more than young people. So the older you get, the weaker your immune system than I want. Also, what I hear from Italy, from my guys in Italy, over the last 3 or 4 years, Italy don't cut down like Nigeria on their health budget, close a lot of hospitals and all that, because their people need to fall sick. So now when the sickness come in drove, they not get facility to handle up. From this morning, I get from a confirmed source for China, say yes, they try to control this corona or the control them, but the numbers can start to rise again. Numbers of cases can rise again. The reason we say China can't open their border. Say Apple don't open all their shops, all the businesses don't open their business. So people when they fly into China now, can they bring the thing to China again? I go there and I go airports. Those of them I will be saying not really get any serious business to do for airports. Wanna stay away. Those of them I will be saying they like to go visit people who come from abroad. This is the period they be saying I go to stay away too. Those of them I would like to go nightclub. I want to go nightclub, go hear loud music. My ear and they good with slow music. If you want to hear loud music, go buy earpiece, put up for your ear, increase the volume of your phone or anything. The music go loud for your ear. That's the way I think or lock yourself inside house, open the volume of your music to the end. Just and your neighbor neighbor too. Now they go knock your door for. But now so the matter just to be. Now I could go to the people who be say their voices they on the show this morning, and I could relate with them. First man on the show.
Hello, Elegbete TV Radio. My name is Samuel. Current location Ikorodu. It's a rainy day here in Ikorodu. My question goes like this. What thing dey happen for our NPFL? Dare Ojo was kidnapped. Ifeanyi Jude kicked the bucket.
All right, Samuel, I don't really think say that na question you ask, so because kidnapping not be the MPFL, not the MPFL cause an insecurity for the nation. The death of Ifeanyi George, not the MPFL cause coronavirus now make them put the league on hold. In there on his way home, now he get accident. Accident na something we say like I talked yesterday. Now something we say they happen to everybody. Not be everything they take they blame MPFL or the LMC or the NFF and all that. I don't see any reason why we go channel and towards them. But more move to the next person, Timothy Dembo.
Hello, Elemental TV Radio. Yes, this is Timothy Dembo. Yes, and I'm calling you from Ipaja. Great to have the Talking Point show back. Yes, I have one question to ask this time around, and it's about football. Yes, these players currently they are on break due to the outbreak, the disease coronavirus. But what I want to ask is, these players, when they resume back, probably, I don't know, but I know when they resume back, how will these players gel together, considering the fact that most of them haven't trained together, or because of the stay-at-home policy, most of them don't do trainings, or maybe they just do personal trainings and they don't train together. How would it have an effect on the club? Maybe the club, like when they begin to play, won't it be that these players will not be able to gel, or to take them some games before they will now gel together? Thank you.
Well, I think what's it, but that's a very valid question you ask. So, because if you spread them across, some players get natural tendency to be disciplined. Others, like every other human being, to get this thing about them will be say once you give them opportunity, they'll go overeat, overgroove. But at least this coronavirus too also means that everybody there on lockdown. That some club they monitor their players' fitness and training. In terms of gelling together and playing, all these are teammates, they already know the way each other play. My only worry in terms of fitness and match rustiness and all that, if it affects some players, but I'm not sure if the effect goes strong like that. Not just a case of maybe first 30 minutes in the game, and once this thing come out, it not me say if they lift and I say okay, season want to start now. Now that very day they will start to play ball. No, they'll still get 2, 3, or 4 days to train together before matches go start. So I think that would be a good enough time where we say any player will be say don't they lose shape before go fit gain himself. I've been one talk say all players are professionals, they are supposed to stay fit. Well, now in my mind called go ahead in Hazard we turn to hot air balloon. So players can overfeed. The thing about playing football is you are put under certain training and fitness regime where you have to abide by certain things. But I think these players know, say they're still in the middle of the season. They sign contract, discipline can come. Some of them also want to move at the end of the season to other clubs. So they'll keep their shape. For as long as they stay in shape, ability to play not going to be a problem. They'll be fine.
My name is Amba Pius. Now they call from Ajak. My question now about MPFA players, because if you notice, most of all these clubs, if players transfer from their clubs, from their various Nigerian clubs to other clubs or to abroad, we don't really see the exact figure, their exact transfer fee. Is that the unknown, or so many players? I mean, from Umfa Udo, Sikiru Alimi, Sikiru Latubosun, Junior Lokosa, most of them like that we don't transfer recently. We know they really see. You get any hidden thing where they not supposed, where we say they peculiar to Nigeria, where they don't want us to see. I want to know the main reason why they always hide those kind of figures from the general public, because I mean these are things we supposed to see. Well done, Elegbete. I greet you.
All right, Pius, that thing when you talk so na very strong one, and I don't complain, I don't tire. Some people believe say if them talk oh, somebody will come beg them money. You know this Nigerian mentality. Oh, they need to talk your age. Oh, you need to count how many children you get. Oh, you need to talk how much you get for bank. Oh, some of those things. But I dey feel say na criminal intention. This is my opinion. People might not like them, but if it's a criminal intention, why I talk so be say, if they come out now, come to say we transfer this player for 2 million, we transfer that player for 3 million. Maybe the commissioner of finance for the state, because you don't send player for so amount of money, we're not going to give you the budget where you ask for again. Go use that money to fund them. And the way we take structure our club, the way we take the run football for Nigeria, and I make am be like that. Because if we really dey run football in the area of say, okay, there's going to be transparency, there's going to be accountability, people not going to hide the amount, because now wetin also dey help dey boost the conversation around the game. When we talk about talking points, you see the EPL for instance, wetin dey keep the EPL going, not be really the quality of the football. If we talk of quality of football, it never get any season since I dey follow EPL, since I dey follow Premier League football, let's say from 1989 wey be Pro League to come become Premier League in 1992, come reach today. So it never get any season where they get more than 3 teams wey really dey play good football for England. But now those hype, those media talk, hype around players, they are this player they earn so and so. Because when you look at how much a player earns and then the performance when they give, you cannot create a talking point around a player. You say this player will play well. You say well, if they pay you XYZ, let's say for instance, yes, say Ezenwa they earn 1 million naira every month, and then this weekend, because you say he saved 2 penalties for match and 9 women of the match, a performance, I make a team win away from home. For instance, we will not without end the conversation on a team win away from home, they scored so a number of goals, or they saved this one. That you will say we can get another talking point around. You know, if they pay you 1 million every month, you will go catch fly, you will catch breeze, you will do the talking point goes sweet. But the people who run our football for Nigeria never understand how much value media go fit bring to the. Imagine, see what they do here now. People, I'm sure a lot of people not think about the fact that, oh, apart from radio and TV, you can do funny program via a show on YouTube like this. Now we don't start out. Imagine if, for instance, the fans of Enyimba or the fans of Heartland or Rangers United, Rangers get their own YouTube channel called Rangers TV or Enyimba TV or Heartland TV, which we suppose get. They cost the whole world to do it. And then fans can be in a WhatsApp group or a Telegram group, and then they send in their voice note, and then the players they for studio, inside studio for their club. They create a studio for their clubhouse, and then the players are answering questions for the fans. You know how much connection the fans will get with the club and the players and all that. And then eventually it will generate views, and I not say they hard when it comes to views. Me and David talk, so I get over 100 people in this group. Maybe now 15, 20 or 10, 90 view. But football, because of the activities and all that, but we're not taking it serious. So now the way we be here, not be the right way to go about time, but unfortunately we not sabi do the right thing in this part of the world. So now I make a be like that. We'll go to the next person.
Hello, Elegbete TV. It's Pedro from Unilag. I just want to ask about, there was a time where you were at Brila FM. You were talking about ITV and how they fold up. Now that you have given us this opportunity to ask about your time as a presenter on the radio and just your journey so far, I would like to know what you were giving the reason that time, but that time I was preparing for, maybe I was going out so I couldn't listen very well, but thank God I have the chance now. What was the reason why ITV, what was the reason why they fold up? You were saying something about that, and how was your journey at ITV? How was it like, your experience there? How was it like, because ITV was the only one covering Premier League then, so it was more like working in Super Sport. So I just want to know if you can share your experience with us young journalists that are coming up as well. I would love if you can just share your experience. Thank you. Great job you're doing.
All right, thank you very much, Pedro. I think now this show is beginning to take the kind of shape we is supposed to take. Thanks to the guys who say we should expand the questions beyond sports. My journey into ITV, I think that time I just finished my work with Al Jazeera, my documentary what I do with Al Jazeera. Thanks to Shina Okeleji for hooking me up with Orlando Van Honsen, and we did that documentary. I just finished and the thing just started airing and everybody was interested. That was 2008, and it started airing in October. but then I started doing freelancing in Bella like since 2004. But I was looking for something more. I wanted to push the envelope a lot more. I mean, I like what I was doing with Bella, but I just needed some more thing because I had time on my hand. So I did that with Al Jazeera, and it was great fun. It was, apart from the fact that I like what I did with Al Jazeera, there is also that knowledge of knowing that I was once a victim of fake agents, and then I was now the person championing the cause. So when I was done with that, I went to OJ's at the National Stadium, Surulere, and I was there. I was always listening to Temisa, watching ITV as well. I had ITV installed in my house already, and then Temisa called me and like, come, I should leave my table and come join them. I was eating, and then they were eating and drinking as well, and I joined them on their table, and it was like, would I love to work with ITV? And it was just strange. This was 3rd of December 2008, and I said, with my arms and my leg. One of the reasons why I wanted to work with ITV is that after I stopped playing football, I said I wanted to go into media. My mom didn't like it because, I mean, she felt I studied engineering. I should go and work offshore, work escravos, work somewhere, work in oil company, and I didn't like it. So this was an opportunity to prove to my mom, my stepdad, my family, my folks in Warri anyway, because if I was working in ITV, they'll be seeing me every day, every week in, week out. So they will know that, oh, their son is doing well, or this thing that he has chosen is paying off. So the excitement, the joy. I remember our pastors in Assemblies of God were calling me, I saw you in Al Jazeera. So I took the chance, and I went to the studio in Ikorodu on the 10th of December 2008, and the rest they say is history. Now, talking about how it folded up. First, I can't talk about how it folded up without first talk about the fun. ITV was one of the greatest things that ever happened to me, because I made friends that I have no right making, that are not on my level. People like the late Deji Tinubu, the current commissioner of sports in Lagos State, Shola Ekpekun, Bode Oguntui, Uncle Ayodeji Omotoyibo, Fela Bankole, Biola Kazimu is like a brother to me, Kibati who's like a sister to me. A lot of people. ITV was the first place where I worked that I felt like everybody was family. So it was different. It wasn't like, I mean, my time in radio, I can't say the same, with, even though I spent the longest time of my working experience in Brilla, I can't say the same of the people that I worked with. But there are some fantastic people I worked with in Brilla. That's going to be a conversation for another day. What made us fold up is, it was a time when Nigeria was doing bank capitalization and Soludo and all that. So we needed to renew, ITV needed to renew licenses for Premier League and all the Super Sports or MultiChoice was a company that had over $400 million in their war chest. Is it $2 billion in their war chest, according to the story? And we were just starting, and they were struggling to get bank guarantees. These are not money that you have in your bedroom that you could just throw around. And then the paperwork were not coming as at when it was supposed to come in, and then Super Sports stepped in and took the broadcast right. Once they took that broadcast right, we really did not have any major content to do again. So it was issue with bank, First Bank, GT Bank, and all that caused the problem. Nothing from my own point of view. I don't think there was any administrative problem or there was any mismanagement. As people start saying, in the Nigerian team mismanagement. No, it wasn't mismanagement. It was just a simple case of the Nigerian economy affected the business, just like as I am here now. Me and my crew were doing everything right, but Nigerian economic situation is affecting my business in the sense that I spend close to 300,000 naira every month for a new business on fuel and diesel, and then you now add another close to 100,000 that I spend in servicing this generator and the rest. If there was constant power supply, and then there's internet that is epileptic, so those are some of the problems that affect it. So when you come, the other day somebody tell me, why are you not doing like Post TV? And I was like, Post TV brought money from abroad. Their money is in dollars. It's hard currency. I am doing this from the feeding money that I'm supposed to use to feed my family. So it's different. That's the kind of situation that ITV find themselves, and Nigeria economy helped to collapse that fantastic brand. But we just hope that some other people would seize that initiative and get to fix it. Well, let's get past that one and move to the next person.
This is Tunji talking from First Talk. I have 3 questions involved. Let me go straight into them. The first one is, I have a friend. He he does sports betting, gambling, and I have nothing against gambling. But then he's still in school. But then he's he tells me that he's gambling to like save up money to when he's done with school, so he'll have something to fall back on because he's he's studying nursing here, but then he feels that in a place like Nigeria anything is possible. So he just wants to have money for backup. So I think he told me once that his target is about 30 million there, but it's not like he plans to make everything at once, yeah, but then he wants to, as long as he makes the money, keep on saving. So I want to ask if it is a reasonable idea, because it's not like I don't believe his process or trust his process, but then the way gambling is these days, where you can just lose, although he's very, very good at it, because I believe that there's a bit of luck in gambling, but then on the other hand, there are people who are really, really good and skilled at doing it. So I don't know if you advise for him to like maybe stop, because he also focuses on his academics very, very well. It's not like he neglects it, but then we tell him to like stop, or what would be your advice to that kind of person? Because he doesn't believe in borrowing money for business. He just wants to have that as like a core backup. Then second question is, do you think Man United should go for Philippe Coutinho if available, considering that they have the likes of Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes, who can both play as number 10? Then the third question is, I used to watch your show, one part of your show at some point called Behind Closed Doors. I think Irene Daniel organized it. I would like to ask why the show stopped, because I used to follow it. That's like what the show I used to even follow the most before these talking points came on board. So these are my three questions. I thank you.
All right, Tunji, for the gambling, okay. There's something about the guy that I also believe in. I do not believe in borrowing money to do business. When I was starting this, I had to sell some stuff that I have to start the business, because I believe that if you have a dream and you believe in that dream so much, you have to invest in it. And the reason why I did not believe in borrowing money was the fact that the headache of starting up and knowing that the business is not going to yield money instantly. I do not have 50 million people out there that I believe would view my content regularly. So if I go and borrow money, when will I tell the people I will pay back? And then if I can't pay back and then they come and possess my business, I would have lost on both sides. So that's the reason why I don't believe in borrowing money. And I've studied a lot of business and that are successful, and most of the ones that did well are the ones who didn't borrow money to start. People who believe that they will start small and grow, and they will take all the mocking, all the insults that people will throw at them, but eventually they will grow. And it's the model that I've followed. For that guy who's doing sports betting, there's something you said. He said he's very good at it. There are people who are good at sports betting. I've actually lived majority of my life in Lagos depending on money from sports betting. I'm not one of those lucky people who have uncles or aunties or families who give them money. I am actually the guy everybody depend on. I've been a breadwinner since I was like 11 years old. So, and when I was working in Bella, for instance, I started in 2012 when I signed my contract, but I started working in 2004. And in 2012, I signed my contract, so I started earning salaries. And it was 150,000 naira. Then it rose to 180, even though I get paid 179 because a deduction for VPN. Now, what I'm saying this is, I don't have a lifestyle. I don't go to club. I don't live luxury life. But I live in a flat in Ajah. My flat, went from 350 to 500 to, I moved to a flat that was 1.something million, and I've been living in that kind of flat since Buhari came into power. So there is no way. I have children who go to very expensive schools. There's no way I could have depended on that salary to live my life. I do sports betting. I'm not going to come here and deceive anybody. Most of the equipment that we have in this company is product of sports betting because I don't have any extra source of fund. But you see, I do my sports betting. I'm not addicted to it. As a matter of fact, I'm not addicted to anything. I was raised by a mother who taught me never to get attached to a thing that I cannot walk away from. That's why I tell people I'm not addicted to anything. I'm not a sports fanatic. I don't watch football like my life depends on it. I don't do. The only people I'm addicted to are my children and my wife. Aside that, nothing. So if he's disciplined with it, there are people who are good with it. People like Kingsley, Danley. There are no people who are good at sports betting because you can't stop it. It's a global business. So let's not deceive ourselves. It's a multi-million-dollar business. People make money from it. There are systemic betting where you bet small and you win small money and you graduate the money. There are those who bet for luck, who just pile up 40 games and hope against all hope that they will make money. I don't know how to do that. I do systemic betting, 5 games. Let me give you a very good example. There's this thing that I started when I was in Bella, and I say it on radio, and I said, if you start the season, at the beginning of the season, you create a chart and say you pick Juventus, FC Bayern, Chelsea. At that time that Chelsea were at the top, this is when Chelsea was really winning. FC Barcelona, Real Madrid, add Borussia Dortmund to it, FC Porto, Benfica, Juventus, Ajax. These are 10 teams. Put them in one pool. For as long as they're not playing against each other, every week bet maybe 2,000 naira on them. Do you know that you will win more than you will lose? It's statistically proven because these teams always get that run of 10-15 games without a loss. So there's going to be 1 or 2 games that you lose, but at the end of the day, cumulatively, if you look at it, you've made a lot more money than you've lost. So in that season, you make money. And this is how I set out my season. I set out my season and say, this season, I want to make 5 million or 10 million from betting. Because I go back and I calculate, okay, if I was earning salaries 150,000, how much will I make in a year? It's less than 2 million naira. So if I put my target of 5 million or 10 million, 5 million is the realistic target. 10 million is the assumptive target. And I get to 5 million. I've paid my rent. I've taken care of my children's school fees. I mean, maybe a few luxury here and there while I keep my hustle going. I keep my grind going. So if the guy is that disciplined, I think he can make it. That's one on the one side. On the side of, what's the other question you ask? You ask about Irene Daniels. Now, Irene Daniels was a girl who worked in here and she was fantastic. She was good at what she does. And she said she came to do audition. When we called for audition last year, she came in, she did well. But then, like I always say, talent will get you through the door, but attitude will keep you. The attitude wasn't right. She was good though. She was good at what she does. Her show was fantastic. I like it, even though it wasn't commercially viable for us because of what she was talking about. It was never monetized. That's something that a lot of people don't know. So it was not commercially viable for us. But I was happy that I was grooming a young girl who would eventually turn out to become a household name in that regard. But then she had the attitude issues that did not fit the plan that we have. Because one thing about putting the right people around you is the wrong people around you is eventually they'll start rubbing off on other people because like, I mean, I'm a star. That's why I can do anything. I get away with it after all. Then your other people around will start thinking, is the boss sleeping with this girl? Why is it that this girl does all these things and the boss does not say anything? So I had to cut her loose completely. I can't remember what your third question was again, Tunji. Okay. Your third question was on Mayu and Felipe Coutinho. Now, Felipe Coutinho is not a number 10, as a lot of people will always think. Felipe Coutinho operates from the wing into the midfield, just like a Thierry Henry back in the day. Whether I will fit into Man United, I don't know, because Man United and Bayern Munich are almost similar in their play and in their setup and even in their colors. It's not fitted in there. Would it fit in? What Bayern is now is what Man U is setting up to be like. So I don't know if it will fit in. But you know, players, you can flop here and do well here. Alexis Sanchez was fantastic at Arsenal. It's not done well with Manchester United and then Inter Milan. So I really don't know. It will take God to answer that question. But let's just hope that it will find its way because I really do like him. But I think one of the things with Coutinho is Coutinho like the play running through him. He doesn't like let the play go from him to other people. He likes everything built around him, and I don't think Manchester United can afford to build a team around him right now, especially when they have Pogba. They also have Bruno Fernandes, who is leading. They don't need a player that will come to Man United and rehabilitate. They need a player that will come to Man United and put a spark instantly. And Felipe Coutinho is not that player right now. Maybe clubs like West Ham, lower club, would sign him on, but definitely not Man United.
Elevated TV radio. Now, Oluwashem they talk. Current location na Lekki. Bro, say I want to make you yarn about this current situation of the Olympic Tokyo 2020. I don't know why the organizing committee they are still insisting going on with this Olympic, despite what is going on in the global race, the COVID-19 spread all over the world. I wonder which country are they expect to come and participate. Because when looking at the athletes that will participate in this competition, they need to get themselves prepared. And due to the spreading of this virus, none of the athletes from all the countries couldn't do any training for now. But they are still insisting. I wanted to share more light on why are they still insisting and what's the implication for not hosting it or postponing it. Is there any? So I want you to talk more about that. Thank you very much. Take it from here.
The Olympics, it is complicated somehow. You know, the Olympic Games Village, by now they don't already sell all the Games Village to people who go take over the residency after the Olympics. So the Olympic organizers now of Tokyo, they fear say by contract people fit sue them. So some people that they prepare to take over their apartments. If they move the Olympics, it will affect a lot of things. Athletes are not training. If you move on to next year, will they do another qualifiers? So many things they involve. There is no one clear-cut answer to this. But I think what the Olympic organizers they do now, the Tokyo 2020 organizers they do be say they hope against all hope that this coronavirus thing solution will come to them and then the games will begin. At least the games still be fun in August, so that they calculate say against all odds. Maybe they still with their ground, maybe they not just hurry. Because if you look at from one angle, European football they hope say their season will end. Waiting that they see, maybe they believe say by the end of April their season will end and then they will start new season for August. If they believe say football will start for August, why Japan will be say not get high case of coronavirus go dey fear to host the Olympics? So now all of those things that they put into consideration, but time will tell. Nobody get clear-cut answer right now. The corona not be something we say right anybody later. It just happened, and we dey hope to God, and then that the best of science go fight against the worst of science. Because to me, corona na something we say they create for lab. So the best of science, which will be the treatment, go fight against the worst of science. This reminds me of Spider-Man, the black one and the red one. But at the end of the day, good always prevail over evil. So humanity once again will win over the mistake of humanity. But let's see how it goes. More keep our fingers crossed. More no pass judgment. More no take too much decision. Well, now here we take come to the end of the show. Once again, hope the rise on this coronavirus thing. We don't get past the place where they say we dey hopeless, we not get cure. People don't come out now, they get well after they contact the virus, meaning that they're as deadly as we think. Well, some people don't also die too, but then now so malaria that also they keep people they also well from malaria. But could just believe say things go come out good. We still send our condolences to the family of Ifeanyi George and every other footballer will be say die within this period, and we also beg the kidnappers them. I beg now God will take beg una. Mona release Ojo and any other player will be saying on a kidnap, and even any other person will kidnap. And as at the end of this show today, I still beg una. This neatness now we don't come, this social distancing and everything. So more could still keep more no get carried away, more not take anything for granted. Now what Italy take for granted, see what they face. So more not take it for granted, because if you reach here, nobody care about you. It is all man for himself, God for all. So more can still wash your hand clean. And like I talked yesterday, at least spend up to a minute washing your hand. Put better soap. You don't really need to be any special kind of soap. If you like, maybe Omo, maybe soda, maybe Keno soap, any kind of soap. But shall wash your hand well and wash them like this. Put your hand in between this place because now here they hide. Put your hand in between and wash them well. When you wash and finish, wash everywhere. Also, when you finish, clean your hand and then use hand sanitizer. Bath a lot more this period. Bath well, scrub yourself so that everybody to go still be safe. And so the matter today. My name still remain Edafe Matthew Esogene. But I'm not going to leave here without saying a very thank you to my producer. Yes, McDonald Chukwemeka Oparasha. Thank you very much. And to all of you, I will say submit to our voice note. We will say make the show tick. I greet all of you now. Now, so I tell you now. And also, I'd like to come in the elevator on sports and then enjoy them. We could keep the talking point show going. For those of you now, we will say they are there. Make una help us share our content, view them, comment on the YouTube channel. Make una keep us in business because if you not the viewers, we will go so pack up and I know one more pack up. Now, so I tell you now. Thank you.